My piece de la resistance, trespass with intent to cause malicious wounding. St Albans is a small town just north of, like 20 miles outside of London, and looks like something straight out of a Charles Dickens novel, complete with cobblestone streets and alleyways. I've lived there for 4 years. My reputation precedes me. My father has a pub around the corner from the courthouse called the Bat and Ball, but then renamed the Bucket of Blood by the locals for obvious reasons. Today is also market day, and the town centre is full of people and stalls that sell everything from radios to women's clothing to fruits and vegetables. I work for Ron and Shirley Tillett on their fruit and veg stall. It's right outside Marks and Spencer's. You know, they are two of the nicest, kindest people I ever met. Always treated me like a son. To this day, I'm not sure why. My job for them was to get rid of the goods that had to be sold that day, so I shout them out, barking. Fucking love that job. Here we go, girls. Brussels sprouts, 15 pence a pound. Don't go walking by the bargains, Mum. Right here, right now. You get the idea. Anyway, I'm not there today. No, today I'm across the street, standing in the dock of the Crown Court, and as if that was not bad enough, things have just got a whole lot worse. Worse, H? What could possibly be worse than that? Pray tell, sir. Well, all right, since you asked me so nicely, I'll tell you. It is because I find myself standing in front of the Right Honourable Judge Marcus Alwyn Davis, also known as the hanging judge amongst the local lads with what you might call villainous tendencies. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is no hanging in England at this time, but if there was, Judge Davis would be leading the charge, and there he sits in all his glory with his red and black robe and his purple sash, his full wig. Oh, and don't forget his pince glasses, delicately placed on the bridge of his nose. In fact, he looks like a transvestite gone awry, and if this was your first time seeing him, well, you'd be hard-pressed not to laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm terrified, because this rather strange-looking man holds the key to my freedom, and everybody knows when you go in front of Judge Davis, you're going to prison. The only question is, for how long? I'm standing in the dock, see, and it's lower than where he is seated, so I naturally have to look up just to see him. He doesn't look at me, of course. Good Lord, no, couldn't possibly do that. So no, what he does is, his words, not mine. He addresses the public gallery, which is above and behind me, so that in actual fact, he's literally holding court. You see him now? This is what I'm fucking talking about. Look. Now he's smiling, like he's the nicest man on earth. Or he's about to give you the recipe for his favourite cake. Oh, I think he's going to say something. He begins. Today, the public will be relieved to know that I will be imposing a custodial sentence. Mr. Martin, I see by your record here in front of me that you are no stranger to this court. In fact, quite the opposite. You have no respect for the public. You have no respect for public property. You have no respect for yourself, sir. You are, in fact, a carbuncle on the face of society, and you really should be put away. It is my duty to ensure the safety of the public from, people like you. So you will go to prison. On count 1, I sentence you to 2 years. On count by this time I've stopped fucking listening. No, that's not true. I'm listening. I am listening intently. I am trying to understand every word this man is saying to me. My problem is this humming has started inside my head, and it seems to be getting louder and louder. Now my knee is beginning to shake. I don't think I can. My hands are beginning to shake. I'm pretty sure this is what you'd call a full-on nervous breakdown. In the meantime, I can hear Judge Davis's voice in the background, droning on and fucking droning on. And silence. Then I hear the words, "That is all. Take him down." And I'm turned around and marched down the concrete steps into the bowels of the courthouse. At the bottom of the steps, my knees buckle, just a little bit. But the screws, well versed in this type of thing, hold me by my arms and keep me steady. In my state of shock, I look at one of the screws and I say, "I don't even know how long I've got." He gives me a curt nod and tells me not to worry about it. The paperwork will be down soon, and he will let me know as soon as it does. But for now, I'm to go in a holding cell. I don't know why they call it a holding cell. It's the same as all the other fucking cells down there, but I digress. My cell is 12 foot long and 7 feet wide. At the end of the cell, there's a concrete bench. On top of the concrete bench, there's a 2-inch thick rubber mattress. Smells of piss and fear. I sit down on said mattress and I start reading the graffiti on the walls. The general consensus is that Judge Davis is a cunt, and in my own humble opinion, I would have to say that I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment. I think about putting my name on the wall. But fortunately for me, sanity returns. I mean, why would I want my name on a cell wall in the bowels of a courthouse in some fucking shitty town in England? Or what would be the point? So that in a month, a year, 6 months, some other loser, just like me, will be sitting here just like me, and he'll be reading the graffiti on the walls just like me. And then he'll see my name and he'll go, "Oh, look, Horace was here. I feel a lot better now." So no, I didn't put my name on the wall. What I did was I sat back and I began to think. When you're in prison, you get plenty of time to think.